Hey friends, welcome and thank you for choosing to listen today. I'm Bonnie. In the time we have together, I'd like to invite you to slow down a little and join me as we step into the history and culture of China and listen to the myths and stories that have been passed down through the centuries. And of course, if there's a topic you're curious about, feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion. I'd love to explore it with you in a future episode. Today, we're going to talk about a love that crosses 1,000 years, an in-depth interpretation of the Chinese Valentine's Day, Qixi. In the West, February 14th, St. Valentine's Day, has become a globally recognized celebration of love. Yet on this ancient and enigmatic Eastern land, China possesses its own distinctive and deeply poetic Valentine's tradition. Unlike its Western counterpart, the Chinese Valentine's Day does not fall on a fixed solar date. Instead, it is rooted in the rhythms of the lunar calendar and the movement of the stars. It arrives on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month, a day known as Qixi, also called the Festival of Begging for Skill or the Daughter's Festival. Beneath this single date lies a dense tapestry of history, legend, and cultural meaning, forming a uniquely Chinese expression of love. Many Chinese festivals appear, on the surface, to be human customs, yet behind them lies a profound attentiveness to the order of nature. Spring Begins, Qingming, the Dragon Boat Festival, and Mid-Autumn are all intimately bound to the seasons, agriculture, and celestial patterns. Qixi, observed on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month, usually falls between late summer and early autumn. For an agrarian society, this period was critical. The heat of summer had not fully receded, yet the breath of autumn already crept into the night wind. Days remained intense, while nights grew increasingly clear. On cloudless evenings, the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of silver light. For the ancients, untroubled by artificial illumination, the Milky Way was not an abstract astronomical concept, but a visible, almost tangible heavenly river. On either side of this river shined two particularly brilliant stars, Vega and Altair, known in Chinese tradition as the weaving maiden and the cowherd. It is no coincidence that a story of love and separation has endured in China for over 2,000 years, born directly from this celestial landscape. The origins of Qixi can be traced back more than 2 millennia to ancient China. At its heart lies a poignant and enduring love story, the legend of the cowherd and the weaver girl. Its earliest written reference appears in the Book of Songs Shi Jing, in the poem Great Eastern Star by the Han Dynasty. The tale had gradually expanded into the version most people recognize today. According to the legend, the weaver girl was the granddaughter of the heavenly emperor, a celestial maiden gifted with extraordinary skill, responsible for weaving the clouds and colorful mists of the sky. Growing weary of the loneliness of heaven, she secretly descended to the mortal world. There, she encountered a diligent and kind cowherd. The two fell in love, married, and lived a simple, contented life, with the husband farming and the wife weaving. The weaver girl taught mortal women the art of spinning and weaving, while the cowherd labored faithfully in the fields. They had 2 children, and their days passed in quiet happiness. This happiness did not last. When the Queen Mother of the West discovered that the weaver girl had left heaven without permission, she flew into a rage and ordered heavenly soldiers to bring her back by force. Grief-stricken, the cowherd, aided by his old ox, donned its hide and carried his 2 children toward the sky, chasing after his wife, just as he was about to catch up. The Queen Mother drew a golden hairpin from her head and carved a vast river across the heavens, forever separating the lovers on opposite banks of the Milky Way. Moved by their devotion, magpies gather once a year on the 7th night of the 7th lunar month, forming a bridge across the heavenly river so that the cowherd and the weaver girl may meet. It is said that on this night, no magpies can be found on Earth, for they have all flown skyward to build the bridge. Gazing into the night sky, people can still see the bright stars of Vega and Lyra and Altair and Aquila, divided by the Milky Way, as if eternally narrating this story of longing and reunion by the Han Dynasty. The legend had largely taken its final form and was later enshrined as one of China's 4 great folk tales, alongside Butterfly Lovers, The Legend of the White Snake, and Meng Zhongnu Weeping at the Great Wall. The formation of Qixi as a festival was a gradual historical process. As early as the pre-Qin era, people carefully observed and recorded the movement of the stars. The cowherd and weaver girl stars stood out in the night sky and became objects of celestial reverence. By the Western Zhou period, these stars had already entered popular consciousness and were endowed with human characteristics. The Han Dynasty marked a crucial stage in the development of Qixi, with advances in astronomy and the rise of correlative cosmology linking heaven and humanity. The story of the cowherd and the weaver girl became increasingly elaborate. During the Wei, Jin, and Northern and Southern dynasties, Qixi gradually crystallized into a fixed festival with established customs. The Tang Dynasty, a golden age of Chinese culture, elevated festival traditions to new heights, and Qixi grew especially vibrant. Both the imperial court and common people observed it with great enthusiasm, and the legendary romance of Emperor Xuanzong and Yang Guifei became closely associated with the festival's imagery. In the Song Dynasty and thereafter, Qixi customs became even more diverse, and commercial activities began to intertwine with festival celebrations. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, regional variations flourished, giving the festival distinct local characteristics. In modern times, with the introduction of Western culture, Valentine's Day on February 14th has gained popularity in China, yet Qixi has never lost its vitality. Instead, it has adapted to contemporary life while retaining its cultural core. In 2006, Qixi was officially inscribed on China's first national list of intangible cultural heritage, marking formal recognition and protection of this ancient tradition. Although Qixi is often referred to as the Chinese Valentine's Day, its cultural significance extends far beyond romantic love alone. It is a multi-layered cultural complex that reflects ancient Chinese values, gender roles, craftsmanship, aesthetics, and cosmological thought. First, Qixi embodies the traditional emphasis on women's virtue and skill. One of its central practices is begging for dexterity, in which young women pray to the weaver girl for nimble hands and refined craftsmanship. In traditional China, textile production was a core female responsibility, and excellence in weaving symbolized moral virtue and practical competence. For this reason, Qixi was also known as the Festival of Begging for Skill, or the Daughters' Festival, a day for women to demonstrate talent and aspire to improvement. This custom reflects the traditional ideal of virtue, speech, appearance, and skill, with particular stress on skill. Second, Qixi celebrates labor and creation. In the legend, the cowherd represents agriculture, while the weaver girl represents textile production. Together, they embody the fundamental economic structure of agrarian society. Men farming, women weaving. This idealized mode of life, infused with romance, is in essence a tribute to productive labor and human creativity. On Qixi, women prayed not only for better weaving skills, but also for ingenuity in all aspects of life. Third, Qixi reflects ancient China's reverence for the stars and its vision of the cosmos. The legend arose from careful observation of the night sky, transforming celestial bodies into characters with emotion and destiny. This narrative expression of the heavens exemplifies the philosophy of unity between humanity and nature. Through the story, people interpreted the movement of the stars while projecting human emotion onto the universe, creating a dialogue between heaven and earth. Furthermore, Qixi expresses admiration for steadfast love and a longing for freedom in marriage. The cowherd and the weaver girl defy heavenly law in pursuit of true love, a narrative that subtly challenges rigid social constraints and conveys a deep yearning for marital autonomy. In a feudal society, such ideals were especially precious, which explains why the story resonated so profoundly and endured for centuries. Finally, Qixi also carries the meaning of family unity. In some regions, it is not only a day for lovers, but also a time for family gatherings. In Taiwan and parts of southern China, families worship the seventh maiden, another name for the weaver girl, praying for children's health and household harmony. This practice enriches the festival with ethical and familial dimensions, making Qixi not merely a celebration of romantic love, but a reflection of life, labor, and the cosmos itself. Regional variations between North and South, China's vast territory and ethnic diversity have given rise to a rich spectrum of Qixi customs, each region developing its own distinctive practices. Though varied in form, these traditions share a common core: praying for skill, seeking blessings, and celebrating love. In northern China, Qixi customs are closely associated with begging for dexterity. In old Beijing, there was a practice known as testing skill by casting needles. At noon on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month, women would drop a needle into a bowl of water and observe the shadow it cast on the bottom. If the shadow resembled clouds, flowers, birds, or animals, it was taken as a sign of having obtained skill. Another custom, threading needles under moonlight, involved women attempting to thread a needle by the light of the moon at night. The first to succeed was considered the most skillful. In parts of Shandong, People prepared qiagua, deep-fried pastries shaped from dough, which served both as offerings and festive treats. In southern China, Qixi customs are even more diverse. In Guangdong, the ritual of worshipping the seventh sister is particularly elaborate. Young women prepare delicate handicrafts in advance and set up incense tables on Qixi night, displaying fruits, cosmetics, and powders to honor the weaver girl, praying for dexterous hands and auspicious marriages. In Taiwan, Qixi is regarded as the birthday of Qingyang Ma, another name for the weaver girl, and families worship her to pray for children's safety and healthy growth. In Fujian and Zhejiang, there is a tradition of washing one's hair on Qixi. Legend holds that spring and river water on this day is exceptionally pure. Washing one's hair is believed to bring glossy beauty and the weaver girl's blessing. In southwestern China, Qixi-related customs bear strong ethnic characteristics. In parts of Yunnan, the festival serves as an important occasion for young men and women to sing antiphonal songs and socialize among groups such as the Yi and Bai. Singing and dancing events allow youths to meet and express affection in Miao communities of Guizhou. Qixi is known as the Flower Dancing Festival, a major social gathering and matchmaking occasion. In the Jingnan water towns, Qixi takes on a unique elegance. In cities such as Suzhou and Hangzhou, there is a tradition of begging for skill on water, where women ride beautifully decorated boats drifting along canals, praying to the moon and stars. In Nanjing, people observe the custom of watching the stars on Qixi, climbing to high places to observe the cowherd and weaver girl stars while recounting their love story. In Hong Kong and Macau, Qixi customs reflect a blend of Chinese and Western influences. In Hong Kong, Qixi is also known as the birthday of the seventh sister. Traditional rites of praying for skill remain, alongside modern Valentine's Day practices such as gift-giving and romantic dinners. In Macau, traditional worship ceremonies coexist with Western-style celebrations, vividly illustrating cultural hybridity. Among China's ethnic minorities, festivals associated with Qixi-like themes are especially diverse. In Tibetan regions, although there is no formal Qixi festival, celebrations such as the Shuten Festival also serve as occasions for expressing affection among the Zhuang people. The 3rd of March Song Fair is a major event for courtship through antiphonal singing, serving functions similar to those of Qixi. From traditional festival to modern Valentine's Day, as society has evolved, Qixi has undergone continuous transformation, shifting from a traditional festival of skill-seeking to a modern Chinese Valentine's Day. This transition began in the late 20th century, with China's reform and opening up and the influx of Western culture. February 14th gained popularity among urban youth. In response, cultural advocates began promoting Qixi as China's own festival of love, both to preserve tradition and to counterbalance Western cultural influence. In the 21st century, this trend has become increasingly pronounced. Businesses quickly recognized its commercial potential and began promoting Qixi as the Chinese Valentine's Day through themed products and promotional campaigns. Media coverage expanded accordingly, with special programs and reports dedicated to the festival. In 2006, Qixi was inscribed on the National List of Intangible Cultural Heritage, further elevating its cultural status and public visibility. Modern Qixi celebrations blend tradition with contemporary elements. In some regions, traditional practices such as skill-seeking rituals have been revived and reimagined through handicraft competitions and exhibitions of traditional attire. At the same time, modern Valentine's customs have been incorporated, including gift exchange is often featuring culturally symbolic items such as Chinese knots or lovebirds romantic dinners, and watching love-themed films. Digital technology has infused Qixi with new vitality. On social media, people share Qixi greetings and love stories. E-commerce platforms launch themed promotions, while mobile applications offer Qixi-themed emojis, filters, and games. Even cloud celebrations have emerged, allowing long-distance couples to spend Qixi together through video calls, transcending physical separation. In recent years, the cultural depth of Qixi has continued to expand. Cultural institutions and scholars have worked to rediscover and disseminate its traditional meanings, emphasizing not only romance, but also its significance as a women's festival, a celebration of craftsmanship, and a festival of the stars. Qixi is gradually reclaiming its full cultural richness rather than being reduced to a purely commercialized Valentine's Day. At the same time, Qixi has begun to reach a global audience. As China's cultural influence grows, this traditional festival has attracted attention worldwide. In overseas Chinese communities, Qixi celebrations are becoming increasingly vibrant, and even non-Chinese groups have begun to take interest in this festival imbued with Eastern romance. Qixi and Valentine's Day. A cultural comparison. As the Chinese Valentine's Day, Qixi is naturally compared with the Western Valentine's Day. Although both celebrate love, they differ significantly in origin, cultural meaning, and modes of celebration. In origin, Western Valentine's Day emerged from Christian tradition, commemorating Saint Valentine, and only later evolved into a festival of love. Qixi, by contrast, arose from ancient Chinese star worship and agrarian culture, closely tied to the myth of the cowherd and the weaver girl. One is rooted in religion, the other in observation of nature and folk imagination, reflecting distinct civilizational foundations. In cultural meaning, Western Valentine's Day emphasizes romantic love and emotional expression between couples. Qixi, however, carries far richer connotations. It is not only a festival of love, but also a day for women to display skill, pray for dexterity, and, in some regions, celebrate family unity. Qixi highlights steadfast love that overcomes obstacles, whereas Western Valentine's Day focuses more on immediate romantic expression. In terms of celebration, Western Valentine's Day centers on material gifts such as cards, chocolates, flowers, especially red roses, and jewelry. Traditional Qixi practices are more participatory and experiential, including skill-seeking rituals, stargazing, sacrifices, and the preparation of special foods. While modern Qixi has adopted gift-giving, it often places greater emphasis on cultural symbolism and creativity. Regarding timing, Valentine's Day is fixed on February 14th, while Qixi follows the lunar calendar and typically falls in August. This fluidity aligns Qixi more closely with natural rhythms, occurring in late summer or early autumn. With pleasant weather and clear night skies, it is especially suited to stargazing and outdoor activities, lending it a unique, natural charm. Interestingly, these two festivals now interact in modern China. Many young people celebrate both, creating the phenomenon of two Valentine's Days a year. Some view Western Valentine's Day as an opportunity for initial expressions of affection, while reserving Qixi for deepening relationships and making long-term commitments. This dual celebration reflects both cultural globalization and the resilience of tradition, why Qixi endures. In a rapidly changing modern world, why does a traditional festival like Qixi remain vibrant? The answer lies in its resonance with enduring human emotions and cultural identity. First, Qixi fulfills humanity's timeless longing for romantic love. The legend of the cowherd and the weaver girl endures because it captures universal emotional experiences: meeting, falling in love, separation, longing, and reunion. Love that remains faithful across obstacles speaks to every era. In a time when relationships are often fragile and transient, such classical devotion feels especially precious. Second, Qixi provides cultural identity and continuity. Amid globalization, people increasingly seek cultural roots. Celebrating traditional festivals connects past and present, individual and community. Participating in Qixi affirms not only love, but also one's identity as a bearer of Chinese cultural heritage. Third, Qixi invites reflection on the relationship between technology and humanity. In the legend, the Milky Way is the barrier and the Magpie Bridge the connection. Today, distance is the barrier and communication technology the bridge. Yet no matter how advanced technology becomes, genuine emotional bonds still require empathy and commitment. Qixi reminds us that authentic connection matters more than ever in the digital age. Moreover, traditional elements such as skill-seeking and stargazing take on new meanings today. Skill now extends beyond handicrafts to professional competence and creativity. Stargazing encourages us to look upward and contemplate humanity's place in the universe, an invaluable perspective in an age of fragmented attention. Finally, as intangible cultural heritage, Qixi's preservation and transmission are vital to cultural diversity. UNESCO's Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage emphasizes that such heritage is a wellspring of cultural diversity and a guarantee of sustainable development. Qixi belongs not only to China, but to humanity as a whole, and its preservation contributes to global cultural richness, a bridge across time. Born of star worship, nurtured by agrarian civilization, and transformed by modern society, Qixi embodies the Chinese understanding of love, reverence for labor, pursuit of creativity, and respect for nature. Like a magpie bridge spanning 1,000 years, it connects past and future, tradition and modernity, east and west, the individual and the community, the human world and the cosmos. On Qixi night, When people gaze into the sky in search of the Milky Way and the stars of the cowherd and the weaver girl, they see not merely two celestial bodies, but a civilization's most poetic imagination of love and its most heartfelt confession of life. This upward gaze itself is a spiritual act resisting time and distance, seeking emotional coordinates in the vast universe. As the Thames poet Dumu wrote in Autumn Evening, silver candles cast cold light on painted screens. A gauze fan flutters, fireflies in flight. The palace steps lie cool as flowing water. I lie and watch the cowherd and the weaver girl. A poet 1,000 years ago, and we today gaze upon the same stars and feel the same emotions. This resonance across time is the enduring charm of Qixi, and the secret by which all great cultural traditions survive. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. If there's anything you'd like to learn more about when it comes to Chinese culture, history, or mythology, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this show, please consider following the podcast and leaving a 5-star review. Your support truly means a lot to me, and it's the biggest motivation for me to keep creating new episodes. You're also very welcome to visit my blog, where I share Chinese culture-related content and images from time to time. Just search for Bonnie's Podcast Handbook.blogspot.com. Again, that's Bonnie's Podcast Handbook.blogspot.com. You're welcome to leave comments there as well. Thank you so much for listening today. I'll see you in the next episode.